Hello, Internet. This is Lord Mad Dog, and we are playing From the Depths. So this time I'm going to create a new thing. I'm calling it the Smasher. Basically, it's going to be an engine with a massive box around it and a giant ram on it. So let's jump right on in. First, I have the engine I have prefabbed. I got offline from somebody, and so I'm using this one. But the problem is, because I have no connection on it, you can't actually connect anything to it. So I have to redo it. Here we go, and actually get it to stick to the block this time. Alright, so yeah, that's happened. I didn't know it was actually possible. I thought that all these things could connect to everything. So right now I'm going to go ahead and build the box around this design. It's going to be too thick wall of heavy armor, with a massive open intersection for controls and different various and random objects. So it just skipped forward there for a sec. I'm sorry about that, computer lag, but just keep building this little block. This is not a very complicated build, but I'm hoping it'll be a very effective build when I am done. Yeah, I think it will actually. I think about total cost is going to be around 100K, and if it works, we'll see, you know. I'm hoping it'll be a giant ram. I have never actually made a ram before, so I've never done anything like this. Yeah. But it will basically use somewhat of the same control structures that I've been using for my other ships. There we go. We're just finishing up the outside here. Now we have a nice big block on the inside. Big open area to do anything with, but we have to actually have an external exit for my fuel. And to do that, we have to realign everything and get it to work. Okay. Now we got to figure out where we're going to exit the fuel line right here. And I have decided to do it right here with a T. And have one exterior block right there, and then refill in that hole that I made with armor. There we go. And putting the bottom layer onto this here as well. So now it is a completely blocks made of too thick armor with a 10K engine on the inside. Now we're building the front. This is going to house our systems, our docking system because I want to make a docking system that holds our RAM. But I didn't realize at the time that doesn't work. At the time, I will go ahead and show you what I try to do. But I did not realize that dockings cannot hold anything that goes over 30 meters per second, and this thing is to be traveling close to 100. So right now I'm just going ahead and putting in my control system, and once again I am building my ship backwards. I do it every time I build a ship, and I still haven't figured out why or how that happens. So I did not know I was building my ship backwards, but yes, I am indeed building my ship backwards. I named it Smasher. There. Now we're going to go up to here. This is the drill that I have stolen from the Devourer. If you remember the Devourer, it's a rather neat, nice little design. However, I am going to make my own changes to it. First off, I'm going to design this here, and I am going to change it all into heavy armor. So I'm replacing every last bit of it with heavy armor, and I'm getting rid of all the paint. To do this, I'm using the online converter. So I'm going to save this as Smasher Top when I get done here. It's just putting this little thing together real quick and fast like. There we are. Smasher Top. Yes. There we go. And now I'm going to build a place to hold it. I have already used the converter online to convert it over to what I need. And now I've already imported it into the game, and there. It is now being held right there by the docking port. Now we're going to armor up the docking port, but as I said, this is a mistake on my part. I did not realize that a docking port cannot hold anything that goes over 30 meters per second and travels faster than 30 meters per second. And this, I'm going to be traveling at close to 100 meters per second. At least that's the end goal. So this idea of having a system that repairs itself like so because I've noticed that the biggest problem with rams is that the ram always gets busted. I mean, every single RAM system I've ever noticed has a massive problem with getting busted, and that sucks. So here I am now going to go ahead and put in our thruster control system, but I'm doing it wrong. So I've got to delete that and start with the actual thrusters to see where I want to put my places. And give me a sec, it kind of froze on me. Sorry about that, a computer can handle only what a computer can handle. And playing this at 4 times speed backwards as I'm recording over time, it seems just not working too well. So here I am placing my engines, even though it's not letting you do that. Then you see it. It's just quickly placing them here and aligning them so that they are going to be balanced. Right there. No, that's not going to be balanced, so I've got to replace those, make it so that they will be balanced. Otherwise, if you do not have a balanced thrust system, you are going to have trouble. Even a PID system is going to have trouble. So that's my back. And now I need to rearrange the inward control system, put a complex control, and I'm also going to put a spin system in here with fuel. Let's put the fuel here first. So the thrusters on the outside are basically honestly going to end up being more for looks, as I go ahead and make them all bound to something in the control system there. Oops, and I'm selected this thing here. Didn't mean to do that. And trying to get this all back into go up out of the water, testing the thrust. Because right now I have no real control. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the up and down control systems in. And I'm looking at the thrust and reverse thrust, because if I want an NPC to be able to control this, I have to make sure those are actually correct. The only problem is that an NPC is not going to be, an AI is not going to be able to control this without me putting in a whole bunch of complicated control blocks. For the control block system, if you want an AI to be able to control something like this, well, it will work. But the best way, because especially if you're going to use spin blocks, which I am going to do, is to use the control blocks to call when action happens, push this action. So when control is given to go forward, push, in my case it'd be T, which is to go faster. If action given to go back, push G. That's how you would do control blocks. You would have to have a control blocks for each one: roll, yawn, pitch, and speed, and forward and backwards. Not speed. Yeah, forward and backwards and speed are pretty much the same thing. And here I am busting up the front of my ship really bad as it hits the ground. But I'm trying to figure out why those control blocks are not healing it, and those blocks are not healing it. And the reason why those blocks were not healing it is because I didn't have any material. Here we go. Now I'm putting in this. I'm just going to put a spin block in there to try to bring it up out of the water to see if I can get one that kind of lifts it. I've kind of put that backwards though, so it's got to be upside down, because otherwise it creates a it flips me upside down. So because the pull and the rate on the bottom, if you connect it to the bottom, because it is connected there, that it becomes your point of thrust. Instead of the whole system being your point of thrust, that is your point of thrust. So you've got to place it hanging on the top if you're having something pull you up. Otherwise, it'll spin you around and flip you upside down. So I'm putting these in, and now we will begin to fly, and that flies off, and I couldn't figure out why, but I learned out later why. Now I'm going to get rid of this excess stuff sticking out of the top here. That's not supposed to be there. I don't know how it's even sticking through the ship like that. Yeah, it's because actually I do. It's because it's on its own spin block system, but I put it on its own spin block system because that way I can flip to them using that little bit of noise was me talking in the background with my wife. A spin block system to be able to flip through them with the control systems. I hadn't realized that my voice was in the background. You probably can't hear it. I have it really low on purpose. Anyway, now I finally realized that I'm not going to be able to use it the way I thought I was going to be able to use it with the docking system, which sucks, but that's how that works. So right here I am testing my maneuverabilities and testing it out to see what is wrong and what is right. I have things upside down in here, so I have to go I don't know how that happened when I put in, it just kind of happened, so I am fixing it. Okay, so now it's flying perfectly. And I will still have to add some more control systems. I'm going to add an entire spin block system up front in a massive area you've seen up front. I'm going to add it in there. I'm just checking out the different control blocks, trying to figure out why that's going away. I had to go online and find out that, like I said, I've never built a mech or a docking system type setup before. I thought docking systems would hold on to it at any speed, and I was wrong. Really disappointing me. Kind of made me upset and sad. Oh yeah, I was like, oh, I was looking forward to this idea, because that would mean that the spin block system would actually be able to do damage without and being healed at the same time, instead of most of the time and break it off and just letting the main ship have to deal with everything. All right, so which means I have to put it all on actual turret spin blocks, so I have to protect it very well on the inside and re-armor it up here and assign the spin block. Now, this is just the basic concept. I do a lot of refining off screen that I did not record, because this didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. This spin block, for some reason, when I converted it, got a defect in it that it put a 5 meter spin, 5 meter turret on the top of it, which causes it to blow up the instant that 5 meter spin thing touches anything. So I have to completely redesign go get the turret off the Devourer again and copy it with the prefab system so it doesn't happen, and then paste the prefab system on a spin block, and then take that spin block, convert it into all heavy armor using the online converter, and then once again finally import it and put it into this ship. So it was a decent amount of process. As you can see the spin block. The 5 meter, the 3 meter. It's actually a 3 meter turret on it for some odd reason, and it became the base too. So here I am going to go ahead and armor up the back a little to make it look just a tad bit better. Trying to redesign it. This game really needs an undo button, because I accidentally went through the hall there and had to fix it. It really needs an undo button. It's needed an undo game needed an undo button since the very beginning, and it still doesn't have one, which I can't understand for the life of me. Nick, fix this. Oh well. Alright, so I'm just armoring it up a little bit, making it look a little bit better so it doesn't look so ridiculous for the back here. Like I said, these thrusters can get totally busted off when I'm done, because I have an entire internal spin block system that I'm going to set up, or off screen, because it just takes forever to set up spin blocks. Takes a lot more energy to do it than just regular thrusters. I'm also going to remove most of these fixtures here and replace them with repair bots. The only problem with the repair bots, are just not anywhere near as good as speed wise. I don't know if there's anything else to them. Oops. Now you see me talk again. So as I was saying, it's not anywhere near as good as repair tentacles. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you the end result. It's not the exact 100% end result, but I do hope you enjoy it. I'll be right back. So here we are with more or less the finished version of the Smasher. Okay, It's got the front, it's got little nukes on the front and on the sides, so they are out hard enough so when they hit, they don't explode me, but they do explode the enemies sometimes. It's not very reliable, so I don't have a lot of them. I was going to put them all over the ship so you could have exploding nukes that kind of work, but they don't really, it doesn't work, sadly. So here we are. Actually, I should probably show you the insides first before I go showing you how it works as I fly around here. Pushing full speed forward. As you can see, we hit a good 70, 80 miles per hour. 60. Oh, wait, we're actually hitting almost 90. And the controls are rather responsive. It doesn't quite turn as fast as I would really like it to turn for a RAM, but I could not get it to turn any faster than what it already is. Well, to get it turned faster would take a lot of work, and I don't think it was worth it. Oops, hit the wrong one to build on. Here we go. Caps lock, let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Or just hit P, which would be a lot easier. Alright, so we have the engine system. And then we have our control system. Actually, no, P is not making it easier to understand. No, actually, inside's just not always very hard to understand. So we have the light blocks which connect to the spinners on the outside, as you can see. That really helps. Light blocks are really helpful in this situation all over the place. And then I have some repair in storage, even though you don't need them in this gameplay we always do, I still always obtain it. And then our little mainframe, which enables our control blocks to work, which I did not realize you have to actually have an AI for your control blocks to work. I found that out the hard day yesterday when I couldn't for some reason get my shield blocks to actually work. And then this mess up here up front, that's all spin blocks, and it's hard to see what the heck any of it is, but it's all just empty space spin blocks. It's all conclusive, big old mess of spin blocks, and you cannot navigate it yourself. You have to yeah, it's a bit of a mess. It's very complicated, big of a mess. So yeah, that is the system. And then the front of this thing, we have some detection systems for smoke and laser, well, laser smoke. And up front we have a nice light. So let's go ahead and try it out on the perforator. I think we'll try it on the perforator. See how well it works. Hopefully it performs well. The problem with this is its reliability. Sometimes it does astoundingly good, and other times it just breaks. The front end just totally breaks off, and then that is pretty much like 60-70% of my health or something like that, and I almost die instantly. It's ridiculous. It's because I didn't realize how much health my front, well, it's not that much, but it's just the end, more or less, when it breaks off. And you can see my shields are deflecting a lot of that incoming damage. And we're gonna fly down here. It's really hard to be accurate, surprisingly, as we come in on the back side here and bounced off and not doing much damage at all. And now, even though I do have spin blocks, we are still traveling through the water. It's there, we have a hit on the nuke. I want to think one of the nukes went off, but once again, like I said, for some reason they don't actually do damage when they're spinning. Another one of the nukes went off, but it doesn't really, like I said, do damage for some unknown reason. You would think that at that, hitting would do massive damage. And like I said, my front end, I think, oh wait, no, the front end did not go off yet. My front end did not fall off. We just hit it. And now we're actually being, oh wow, look at that. All right, so we are doing good damage as we rake across the top of the ship here. This is going better than normal. Oh yes. I wiped out 2 of its weapons. The only problem is I am taking a decent amount of damage from the perforator's main gun here, and I need to go up at it. The controls here is designed to allow me to try to change my direction a little. And I think I rolled right across it, but it did not destroy it. Very frustrating. And I'm slamming into this thing at full speed and pushing it into the water, but for some reason I am no longer doing any damage, and that just seems to happen periodically. it just stops doing damage. The game cannot calculate the insanity of this device, and therefore just stops working. Okay, now I need to go ahead and do for another run. And okay, we'll come up and back around as it repairs. Now that's a problem. I don't know how much it would cost to repair this thing on a constant basis. I think it may actually be quite resource intensive, so it may not be worthwhile. I'm going to still build it and try it out in the game mode, because I love this thing. It's just not very reliable. And once again, we're coming down at full speed. Oh, we overshot it, ever so slightly overshot it. I knew we were coming in high. It's very hard to get this thing on perspective. But thanks to my spin blocks, I can maneuver underwater, and we are coming up underneath it this time, hopefully. Yes, and we have another contact, and we are doing damage, but not much. Ah, that's pitiful. All right, let's go ahead and come back around for another spin at it. This time, just go straight up and flip around. Complete flip around. We're doing the barrel roll. I think that's actually a real barrel roll. Every time they tell you to do a barrel roll in Star Fox, they have you turn sideways, and that's not a real barrel roll. That's a aileron spin. Do an aileron spin. Yeah, no, it's not going to go very well. Instead of a barrel roll. All right, so, and we have an intact smash. Oh, now that was a good hit. But once again, we're still losing HP from actually hitting it. So, I don't know. But we are definitely doing far more damage than we're receiving. I mean, this is a 400k device. So it's very nice. I do believe we won this fight too. It'll very soon go too damaged to continue, I would think. Because all of its guns are gone. It cannot fight back. Well, it has missile still, so it might not do that. Alright, we did some real big damage there. We hit one of its main ammo storage, I think. And we're bouncing off the top of it. Oh, there it's shooting its particle beam cannon at me straight up. Which I didn't know was actually possible. I thought once it was destroyed, if you shot it, you would cause more damage to yourself than anything. Alright. And we're still bouncing off it as we try to do damage with this thing. Now, I think if I had a better computer, I think this thing would pretty much own almost all designs all the way up to Scarlet Dawn. But the problem is my computer cannot calculate all the damage being done. At least that's a theory. I don't know if it's actually true. And there we are, crashing in. I'm gonna go ahead and change my position here so we can actually see as I'm drilling down into the ship. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Giant drill ship. Now, this isn't possible in real life because there's no material hard enough to withstand something like this collision. Well, if you made it completely out of titanium or something, but the molding that much titanium in and of itself is not a costly metal, but the process of actually forming it and molding it actually I think is. You have to be so heavy, and I don't think even titanium would actually be able to withstand this. All right, there we go. 2 damaged. And we'll just keep on driving into it. There. Oh no, my front end I think just broke off. Or that or something else. No, my front end did not break off, thankfully. It bounced me away for some unknown reason. Yes, that actually worked out very, very well. That was a very, very good deal. So let's go ahead and escape and let it just break away and fall apart. Now let's go ahead and try to take on a Valkyrie, which travels extremely fast. See how we do against fast-moving vehicles as this thing deteriorates in the background. I mean, that was an excellent showcase of what this thing was capable of. I've tried it multiple times. That was the best time that this thing has come out. I mean, the absolute best. I mean, most of the time the top breaks off for some unknown reason. I have armored it very, very well. So, I mean, I'm very surprised. I am very, very pleased. I have made some changes since the last time I traded it, and they look like they may have actually been very effective because we walked away with that full health. If that's because of repair blocks, though, I don't know how much actual resources we would consume. Let's, like I said, try the Valkyrie, which is a fast-moving vehicle. Oh, well, I cut that. As it turns out, the fight against the Valkyrie has not gone too well. I have been trying for the last 15 minutes, and I've only glanced him twice. So I think we're going to go ahead and just turn him off and try something else to kill. Like I said, it really depends what this thing is worth up against, or it kind of more about luck and aiming, because trying to hit the Valkyrie has just not gone so well. Oh, here and there I hit a good old hit right on the bottom. But as you see, it travels so fast that, well, I hit it. But that's it. So let's try something else. Something a little less annoying, a little less fast, but still usable, still very deadly. Something we're going to be fighting. Let's try, as it gets dark here, let me think. You know, I think I'm going to try the Terawatt. So let's go to the Lightning Hoods, Terawatt. And as it loads in, there we go. Now let's see where the Terawatt is at. It will pretty much wipe out the backside of my system. Oh, the Terawatt is fast, just like the Valkyrie. I did not realize that. And it is really missile spamming. That's insane. Okay, so we may need to put some anti-missile systems on this. Not lasers, but like what do they call them? The missile buoys. I mean, the radar buoys and the sticky flares. That would probably really help. And here we come. I think we're gonna hit him. Are we hitting him? I can't exactly tell. I think we are hitting him. It's just not a very good angle. Ah, dang, well, I don't think we actually hit him. So we took a whole bunch of damage from his missiles for nothing. And it's hit me with the, simple weapons. Those things aren't going to do anything against my armor. They have no armor penetration whatsoever. I think they have like 1 AP. Boom! Now we got a direct hit on it. Slow down, slow down. We don't want to overrun it. Don't overrun it. Don't overrun it. Oh, dang it, we did. Oh, and the Terawatt has... It took out my thrusters. But we did some damage. Not all that great, sadly. And we took a lot more damage ourselves because of the whole being shot at by lasers and stuff. But we're just repairing it very, very fast because of how many repair bots I have, which I don't think is very efficient. So we're gonna go ahead and make some changes. We're gonna put some radar buoys out there, and some stickies, missile stickies. That will probably make a good difference. Kind of a difference. Ooh, here we have a solid contact into the side of it. Let's see if we can keep on digging in. Oh, yeah. Oh, its particle cannon just did us some damage. I don't know how much though. And once again, I think the game just kind of stops being able to calculate the ramming damage. Yeah, it pretty much just slowed to a crawl. I can't see what's going on at all. Let's pull up. See if that helps me any. Let's kind of pause the game here and see if we can get it to catch up. Maybe if we can get it to calculate a little bit, the calculations to catch up or something. No, that did not work. Oh, it's getting away. Don't let it get away. Oh, it's getting away. Oh, and it got away. Ah, darn. And in comes more of its massive amounts of missiles. And we're gonna fly along right after it. Try to catch up to it again. This time we're going to try to hit it in the engine so it can't move. And we're coming down, and we have contact. And the question is what type of damage are we doing though? There's no real way of knowing or telling. Well, actually, yeah, there is. There's 42K. What was it? 4.9 million. Yes, that's it. Million kinetic damage. Guess it's considered kinetic. We need to start going backwards. So let's pull backwards. Yeah, okay. So the only problem is I think this thing would not be very resource efficient. I mean, I think it could kill almost any design up to the Scarlet design. Well, probably not past the Twin Dawn. Or this, I mean, the twin. Is the twin something? Twin Adder? I keep on thinking Twin Adder, but that's Final Fantasy, I think. Twin Guard, that's it. It's slowly pulling away. Here we go. Health below 80% and sinking. Yes. So this is your look at the Smasher. It obliterates a terawatt. I do like it. I've put some time into it. I am going to add some changes to it yet before I bring it into the campaign. You know, put some missiles on it, and hope that helps some. Our total probably cost is 111K, 110K, almost 11. It'll be 111 by the time I'm done for sure. And yeah. Oh, I've got the nukes back. I wonder if I can hit him with the nukes. Will that work? Or that won't work. Probably not. Nope, that didn't work. They just kind of broke off without exploding. The game cannot calculate them moving at that speed when they explode. It just doesn't happen. And boom, he is gone. That is, yeah. And we're sinking ourselves. So we have to pull back up. Come on, pull up, pull up. Which way? There it is. Up. Takes a little bit. Woo! I could try a variation of this with just nukes sticking all over it, far out on blocks, and see what happens. I mean, it might be pretty cool to try. I don't think it'll work very well, but it'd be kind of cool to try. So, yeah, this is the Smasher. Beautiful in all of its design. Really scary. I certainly wouldn't want to see this thing coming towards me. The only problem is for some reason it doesn't seem to be as fast as it should be. I mean, by itself, it hits an easy 80k, but it normally, at least I thought it was hitting an easy 80k. I might have to work on its speed some. There. That's strange. Yeah, I can hit it 80, 90, but during the whole combat situation, I couldn't hit that fast. And it's not because I'm running out of engine power either. I've tested that. I've made sure that my engine power doesn't decrease while in battle. But it just, when it turns, it loses all of its speed. I'll have to see why, figure that out why. Alright, so I hope you have enjoyed this quick build. Lord Mad Dog, signing off.